Go ahead.
And that leads me to my next question. Hey, restart that, Mark. So the next question is though, have y'all ever been heartbroken before? Like bad?
I mean, I
Like,
couldn't say it's
Mm,
bad, but it just kind of just struck me like, damn, you know what I mean?
Heartbroken in general. Yeah, y'all, you speak on that.
Yeah, like there was this girl I liked first. This happened 10th grade, ninth grade. I liked this girl. You know, I was trying too much at first, and it wasn't working. And then I kind of laid back and became myself. This is actually advice Dylan gave me. It was like, just be yourself, bro. That it will work. So I just, didn't pay mind to her. I was just talking, and then the conversation just started flowing naturally. So I was like, all right, okay, okay. This was towards the end of the year, and then next year, 10th grade, we had no classes together, so I really couldn't talk to her. And then, boom, I think we may have had a one conversation, but it was nothing. And then, out of a sudden, I see her, some shaggy ass dude is taking her to homecoming. Like, I'm like, it just, I still can't, I still can't comprehend that to this day. It's been what 2 years. I still can't comprehend it. I wasn't
mm,
heartbroken, but I was just like, shocked. Yeah,
I
that
got
that,
you. I
that was
got
my
you.
experience.
But yeah, let me elaborate on that. So, I'm pretty sure only Dylan knows this story. But like last year, I got out of a relationship back in January of 2020. Uh, Me and my ex were together for 9 months, and during the last 3 months, we just grew apart. I mean, I still loved her, but like there just was no saving that. And then one day she just comes up to me and says she wants to end things, bro. And I mean, in that moment, I was fine. I was like, you know what, cool, whatever, whatever. And then the next day comes around, bro, and she just doesn't talk to me at all, bro. And that's when it finally hit me, like, we're not together anymore. Oh shit.
mm.
And I was sad, bro, for 2 months, bro. I avoided all my friends. I did not talk to any of them, like the ones in band, did not talk to them at all. I was
So
sad,
when
bro,
did this
like
happen? When did this happen?
Just think right.
January
Oh,
2020 up
so you
until
guys broke
like
up January
March.
2020.
Yeah.
I didn't
Okay.
even know this.
So, when that happened, I have a few questions for you. So, one, what made it feel like you guys were like drifting apart? You said in those last 3 months after being together for 9 months.
Well, we weren't really hanging out as much, and
Mm-hmm.
excuse me, she got a job working at Randall's or something, so
Mm-hmm.
we weren't texting as much either. Like we'd only
Uh,
text like 3 times in one day.
oh,
I know that's hella
oh,
dry.
nah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's something that's kind of bad. Yeah, not kind of that's just bad.
No, that is dang. That is, no, that shit is ruthless.
No,
Continue.
no, and the bad thing is though, she was the one who was always starting the conversations, and she was the one who got the job.
Oh.
So why didn't
Yeah.
you
So,
start the
I have a
conversation?
question. So, yeah, so why didn't you start the conversation? So, wait, I have a question for you. I mean, do you feel like it was your fault then?
I mean, to a certain extent, yeah. Maybe I was bored. I mean, I still had feelings for her, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it was a title of being in a relationship
Uh-huh. Yep. That
that I
sounds
didn't
just
want
like
to
my first grade
lose.
self. Mm.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I wasn't really in it as I was portraying to be. And
Uh-huh.
yeah, it is my fault because basically she was saying that she couldn't do it anymore. Me not texting her and us not
Oh.
hanging out.
So you blame
Oh.
yourself.
I mean, yeah,
So she
I do
wanted to
blame
do these
myself.
things, but it just never happened. Like she wanted to hang out with you and she
Yeah,
wanted to
she.
text you more, but because maybe you didn't feel the same need to as before, it led to you guys breaking up.
Hmm.
Ah.
Hmm.
And so my last question for you is how did that like because I'll get to my scenario in a little bit, but um you guys went to school together. So how did it
Right.
feel like being in the same environment, a close environment
Uh,
with your ex and like she just acts like you're a stranger?
Let me just tell you, bro. Let me just tell you. We had 2 classes together. one was band and one was English. Every time I looked at her, bro, I almost cried. Like
Damn.
we had a friend group. We would sit together at lunch, right? I stopped going to lunch with them because I just couldn't look at her anymore
Mm-hmm.
because I felt the need, like I felt the need to cry. And then when anybody see me like that, so I just like real talk. I would skip
Yep.
lunch and I'd be in my feelings, bro. I would cry by
Yeah, yeah.
myself.
So you had a okay, so you had a what's it called? So you had a class with her.
Yeah, too.
Two of them.
It was tough.
Oh. And so like you said, you had like a little friend group. So did that friend group basically just fall apart after you guys broke up?
Um, yeah, for the most part. I mean, we kind of
Dang.
built it back after I finally got over her towards the end, or
Mm-hmm.
started to get over her.
Wait, and she was in
I
the friend
started,
group?
yeah.
So okay, so you guys are like just cool now? Or
Nah,
what's
I
the
mean, uh,
well because I
Y'all
mean I
see
well,
eye to
know like
eye?
COVID hit, so now you don't go to school.
well, yeah. Now that I don't go to school, but even after that, I mean, I guess we weren't really talking. Like
Yeah, 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 I got
we're
you.
just avoiding each other now, and I'm like, you know
Yeah.
what? That's cool. Like I'm not gonna see her
Mm-hmm.
again after high school, so
Facts.
I
Very
just
true.
came to terms with that. But yeah.
Nah.
I got another question for you, Ayo. Now you said you
Mhm.
were kind of like isolated yourself for 2 months. What were you doing then? Like, what were you thinking? And then like, how did you like get over it? Like, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, like I said, I was sad, man. It got to a point where I was thinking about. I felt so lonely. I had no one to talk to. Couldn't talk to my sister about it. She wasn't in a relationship. She had no experience, and I didn't know who to go to. I was just lonely. So I was in a dark place at that time. But I guess what really helped me get over it, which not trying to thank the coronavirus, because the lives that it's claimed, but after we switched to online school during that second semester, I didn't have to see her every day,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, I just bit by bit, I just got over her, and yeah,
Hey, one more thing. Like, I feel
what's
like we
up?
could share. Like, so you said you had no one to go to, but
Hmm.
I'm ready to say like you can hit me up. Anybody can
Yeah.
hit. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
especially me.
Especially yeah, you got
I should say
experience. So
especially me, but I have
no. You got experience.
yeah, and like I said, it was kind of touching on Io, like it was like the complete opposite, uh, on how I felt. And literally every single point you talked about your relationship. First about how, you know, the reason why you guys broke up, you kind of made it seem like because you guys weren't texting much, and you made it seem like it was because you were the reason why you guys weren't texting as much or hanging out as much. Whereas in my case, I was the one that was, continuously doing it. I was the one always wanting to text and FaceTime and all this stuff because it's what we used to do before. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
so, like Johnny was also talking about, I don't know if Johnny's still here, but
Yep, I'm here.
as he was talking about energy, bro, like the beginning of our
Mm-hmm.
relationship was just it was just perfect because it was just energy was getting
Yeah, the
returned,
honeymoon
so it was
phase.
just
Mm-hmm.
like yeah. And honestly, I understand, it's like, oh, you see this new guy, like obviously the first months of you talking to someone or dating someone is gonna be the most exciting because it's like it's a new person, you're getting to know
Hmm.
them, you're experiencing new
Mm-hmm.
things with a new person that you love, so obviously I understand those, first few months are like, probably the most, you know exciting, most energetic times they spend, right? But it just seemed like because we actually broke up and then got back together and then we broke up again. But like I was saying, it's just like I just felt like the energy wasn't getting reciprocated, especially when we got back together the second time. And even then, even though I wasn't getting the same energy, I still kept on fighting. And the reason why I felt like I kept on fighting was because I was reaching back or hoping that I could get back something in the past. When in reality, I think that that dream was long gone of getting back to the state where we once were. And so another thing that I didn't have to deal with you, Io, whenever you guys broke up, is that we didn't go to the same school, so that had its pros and cons. Dealing with a long distance relationship, um, it sucks that you don't get to see him that often, but I also think that in a relationship, it's very important that couples like they balance out their time with you know each other, but then also other things in your life. You don't want to be. I feel like if you spend 24/7 every day with someone,
Hmm.
you can get tired of them, and then it can lead
Right.
to more conflicts. Because you got to also look out for yourself and make sure you keep quality bonds with people like your friends and family. You don't want to be too obsessed with someone else. So I
Hmm.
think the long distance definitely like forcefully gave us that space, but they also had this negatives. We only had the weekend to hang out, right? But y'all know me, I got my soccer. She had her things to do. So if there was a week where we were both busy, whether we just went a whole week without seeing each other, and we had to hope for next weekend that we were free.
Hmm.
But I last point on Io was that he was really upset whenever you guys broke up. But both times I honestly wasn't upset, and the reason why is because I just had that self confidence in myself. I was like, look, like I really put all my effort into this girl. If she wants to leave, then she gonna leave, and I can only
Hmm.
do so much to where like obviously everybody messes up. I messed up, she messed up, yada yada yada. But the point is that I was still trying to fight for it, and you know I have nothing but respect for my ex because she made some of my happiest days. You
Right.
know,
Mhm.
some like she made a bunch of memorable days in my life. Like I can't thank her enough for that. But
Hmm.
so I have nothing against her. And I never will have anything against no one. I always forgive, but like I said, I'll never forget. So
Hmm.
it's kind of just a thing where it's like, look, I did everything I thought I could do, right? If you want to leave, then okay, cool. But I kept fighting because I truly did care about this girl. So I just kind of just was like, all right, well, I mean, it is what it is. I definitely did. Whenever it first happened, I was like, damn, like this is actually like reality.
Hmm.
But I mean, I just know that look, this is just a sign that I mean everything happens for a reason, so it's just a sign that it's just not the one.
Right.
So I just gotta keep
No.
moving on. I mean, that's
Well,
honestly just
look,
how it is.
I'll put it like this, and I want to get Johnny's perspective on you being heartbroken and stuff like that too. But I told Bryce. I know I told Bryce this. I told Io. I told everybody this. But like if stuff's meant to be, it's gonna come. It's gonna come back some way somehow. Or it's gonna come to truth some way somehow. But it just takes time. And like to y'all's
Facts.
point earlier, what we were talking about when we first started the episode, like like you brought up, you live and you learn. So if you take the experience you have, then build up on it. Now when it's another opportunity when you get older, you already kind of know, the ins and the outs of it. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, like I said, if it's meant to be, you know, whatever it
Yeah.
is, scholarships, getting an A on the test, getting, whatever, it's always gonna come back. You hey, just gotta
Hey,
keep
but
going though.
but before we get to Johnny, I got a question for Bryce. How did that end?
Hmm.
Like, who said it first? Like, I want it to be over or something. Like, who said it first? You or her?
Both times it was her. And I think the first time was just kind of like it was my first time, really being in love with someone, and it was so we called it off, or she called it off, I should say, after 10 months. So I was just like I was really trying to fight for it because it was like my first time, right?
Mhm.
Um, like that was just the sole purpose of me, wanting to stay in the relationship. But then when we came back a second time, I had definitely had more of a like, okay, well, look, I need to stick up more for myself, demand more from her in a sense, you know, not saying that I don't, mess up or that she shouldn't demand, more from me, but it's like if I feel like she's not doing something that I'm, maybe not comfortable with or something that I feel like, she could do to maybe help us out, I gotta make sure I let her know. Basically, not get ran over, right? And so those last months were rough before our second breakup. They were rough because I just felt like the energy really wasn't getting reciprocated. And I told myself multiple times, I was like, yo, I need to break up with this girl, but I just couldn't. I just couldn't get myself to do it. And then it just, turned out, or eventually, that she was the one, to say it, because there were multiple times that I was like, okay, well, I want to do it. I need to do it because I can't, keep putting myself through this pain. But, she was my first love, um, and my first real relationship. So, and we had, another thing too, we had
Factual.
been together for so long. It's not like we were just, together for like a few weeks and then we're like, okay, we're like, no, we had been, if you don't count, the few weeks we were off before we got back together, I mean, the relationship went on for a year and 4 months.
I got
So,
another question before we get to Johnny. I don't. I'm not saying you got an
hold
ego or
on.
pride, but
Wait, hold on.
we can cut this out.
Yeah. Hold on, waiting for this call to end.
By the way,
All right.
Jaden said he's eating right now.
Hold on,
So
but I
Yeah,
got one
we're
more
let's hear
putting the
question.
Johnny's
meat.
perspective.
Y'all
What you
ready?
say, John?
Yeah, ready.
No, hold on. We gotta wait for Bryce.
Okay, I'm good.
So I got another question for Bryce.
Yeah.
Um,
hmm
I'm not saying you got an ego or pride, but did it
hmm
feel a different type that she came up and said she wants to end things, or would you have felt better if you went to her and said, "I want to end things"?
Well, like I said, first of all, it kind of depends on the situation because look, if she cheated on me, right? Well, she didn't, but I'm saying if she did, like, then I would break up with her and feel no regrets from it. It's kind of the thing where it's like, you know, I wouldn't have really felt better because it just kind of depends on the person's intentions in a sense. Like, I guess what I'm trying to say is if, like, she was the type of person to, really be trying to get us to, stay together and, really try to get us to be better, and I broke up with her, then I wouldn't feel better because I feel like in the long run I would regret, my decision, right? But if she like did something out of pocket, like cheat on me, and I, broke up with her first, then I would feel good about myself because I knew I did the right thing. But the problem with, us was that like I don't know, I was caught in the middle because it was like sometimes, it made it seem like okay, we were really gonna be like a long lasting thing, but then other times, she made it seem like okay, well like does this girl like really even love me as much as I do, right? And again, the problem with me was that I was just so stuck on the past, right? I was like, okay, like hopefully this time we make up from this argument, we can go back to how things were 10 months ago, but that never
Hmm.
came. And so I couldn't get myself to completely realize that it was never going to happen. I just kept having hope and hope, right? But she wasn't on the same page. And back to what Johnny was saying about reciprocating energy, if she's not on the same page or reciprocating the same energy of, all right, we're going to just, keep working things out. We're just going to get ourselves better. We're going to learn from our mistakes. She just, I guess, just couldn't take enough of it and was just like, pause. And she was just like, all right, well, look, I'm gonna need to step out, and I respect her decision because for both of us, it was mentally draining. We were both getting into arguments. We both had different opinions on the stuff we were arguing about, and she was just able to pull the trigger faster than I was, I guess, or she realized what needed to be done quicker than I did. And so, I mean, honestly, I guess kind of touching base to you know the original thing I was talking about, how I didn't really get too upset was just because I think it needed to be done, to be honest. And I hate to say that, but if we're not on the same page on what we want and we're constantly getting arguments, then it needs to be done. I just may have not been able to put myself to do it. So, answering your question, I don't think I would have felt better if I did it.
All right, Johnny or Dylan?
Now, let's get Johnny's input.
Yeah, I want to see what
What you
Johnny's
got to
saying.
say? Yeah.
Boy, I
On
had a lot to say. He had a lot to say.
my
Heartbreak,
inputs on which topic? Heartbreaks.
Yeah.
heartbreak, first
Yeah,
love, all of
heartbreak.
that, man. You got a lot.
Alright, well, I I personally have not experienced it yet. Kind of glad I haven't experienced a heartbreak, but kind of not glad I haven't experienced first love, man. Cause I'm pretty eager, man. Like, shoot, I don't know. I'm feeling some type of way about it, especially lately. The more I'm growing up, the more I see a lot more people together and like they just look happy. I want that. I don't know. I just
Nah, I
feel some
feel
type
that.
of way about it.
I feel what you're
But
saying.
yeah, um,
Nah,
that's about it.
Well, I just want to say in general, bro, to our viewers listening, like heartbreak is something. It's something crucial in your life. Like especially when you meet that first one, first person who you know seriously hold dear in your heart. You know, it may not. It's probably not going to work out the first time. The first love's probably not going to work out. But like when you get that first heartbreak, it changes you, and like you can you can sort of what's it called? What I'm trying
Handle
to
more.
say is you can change the way it evolves you as a person or devolves you as a person. Like it can actually, you know, boost your morale in the long run. Like what I'm trying to say is heartbreak is actually good for you, even though it may not seem so in the beginning. Like you may just be in your feelings in the beginning, but you know, you gain experience from it, and it's I think it's something essential and it's something important that you know everybody in a relationship should go through. So that's just my take on it. It just helped me become a better person. I was able to learn from my mistakes and stuff, and yeah, that's just me. That's my
for
input.
sure, for sure. Nah, the way I approach things, and I'll tell y'all a little story, but you know, the way I approach things, like obviously I agree with Aya because I'm like, hey, you gotta go through some adversity to
Say
get
it, Dylan.
stronger.
Say your classic saying.
Um, what's my saying? I got a lot of sayings. You know me.
You gotta live and you
Say
learn.
it for the stream, bro.
Gotta live and you learn.
Yep.
Facts. Come on. Gotta live and you learn. But the way I approach it, which is good and bad, but like I look at other folks. I'm like, just other folks' situations and stuff like that. So I kind of learn like you know ins and outs, do's and don'ts. But like I said, with me, why I wanted to bring this topic up, why we chose this topic as the first episode was like Johnny was referring to, like getting older. Growing up, seeing these girls at school, folks developing, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But little situation I had 10th grade year, that was the phase I really like, felt that like, dang, first love type feeling, but it wasn't even anything, So it was this girl in my class. I ain't go, say the name, but uh, at first, we weren't saying nothing. We was just cooling, and I think it started from we were doing like some little class circle or whatever, them little activities in class and ish. And then the teacher, she had called like my name, my real name, Dylan. And then out of all the names, right, to think of, this girl, she thought my name was George, bro. Out of all the names, bro,
Oh no,
she thought my
man.
name was George.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, I was
So
in this
like,
class.
yeah. So like, it was just the whole thing. So before we did that little activity, because this was like November, not it was like October, November type ish, September. I don't really remember, but before that, she kind of been like kind of flirtatious type ish. So I kind of had a vibe for her, but after that, she just kind of like vibing with me. She just be talking with me, flirting and ish, and low key what set it off, like what set me off to liking her was I kind of got gassed up by my teacher. I ain't even gonna lie. But the teacher was like, "Oh yeah, she liking you, like she likes you." So I'm
She
like,
said that?
"Bro, yeah." She said that.
Like
So I'm
after
like,
school?
she said that like after class. So I
Dang.
What
was
do you mean?
like,
Like,
it was like after a
like
while. 'Cause
she?
the
Go
what?
ahead.
No,
No, I
I'm
was
just
just trying
saying
to see
like
like
this girl be
how it happened.
well,
No, I'm
how
saying
she
how your teacher told you like after class, like you stayed at the class, and then she was
well,
like, you
like
know
I
what I mean?
said, the girl be flirting with me. So like she just be doing little stuff, and I guess the teacher caught on to it. And
Yeah.
I mean, I saw it, but like I
Not
wasn't
really.
really feeling her at first,
Hmm.
So then, teacher, she was like, just like after, the bell before, like right before the bell rang,
Mm-hmm.
I was sitting down, everybody was about to, by the door and stuff. So the teacher
Yeah.
was like, yeah, she likes you. I was like, really? She's like, yeah, you don't see it. I was like, yeah, I see it, but I didn't really think too much of it.
Ah.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
like I started getting gassed up and ish from that. And I
Mm-hmm.
mean, she wasn't, she wasn't ugly, so I kind of actually, I didn't say this before, but like I had like a class with her the year like ninth grade and 10th grade. So like I already
Mm-hmm.
thought she was, kind of pretty before.
Mm-hmm.
But like this is the first time I was really like talking to her.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think at that time, I don't know if she had a boyfriend or she was like broke up with him or before. I don't really remember, but I know like she was kind of flirting, and yeah, it was before she had a boyfriend. So we just kind of talked a little bit. Then I kind of got in my feelings, that to the point of heartbreak type ish,
Hmm.
because I found out she had a boyfriend, and I
Oh.
was like, really? Like, who is this dude? He
Freshman.
doing stuff. Yeah, he doing stuff. It's not really good type deal. Just a bad influence, and I'm like, dang, like I couldn't get that type deal.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
um, I think me that kind of turned it off. Like for me, I was like, dang, I don't really kind of, I don't really like her like that. I just kind of saw like I just saw her flaws more and more. I was like,
Tunnel
bro, is this
vision.
really?
Yeah, you lost the tunnel
Yeah.
vision.
But after the breakup, so this like Christmas time now, it was just like, dang, I just got it back again. She was still doing the flirting thing. It's kind of more and more we talk. Some out of school ish, but in school it was so dope because like her energy, her whole vibe. Like I said, she was attractive and stuff like that. But Amira tell me he used to be like, bro, like you tripping. She's not even all that. But I'm like, bro, you gotta see the vibe and ish. Um, but like January, so like Christmas, January, February, it was just all chill. We be talking a little bit, just clowning, like send memes and ish. She's hit with the basketball stuff like that, so I mean that's pretty cool. She told me some stuff about herself. I told her some stuff about myself, but it was nothing really serious. Cause like I said, I'm not really too big on relationships, but right now. But what messed it up was COVID, man.
Mm.
COVID, cause like that online class. Me, I'm not really big on like the phone. Like I barely call folks. So we switched
I
to
apologize
online.
for the delay.
You straight, bro? Hold on. Hey, we talking about heartbreak right now.
Okay.
It's right there. But hold on. So like we switched to online, and it was just dead, bro. Like it was class was through a screen. They didn't even have classes on Zoom until like May. Um, I didn't really talk to her that much. I didn't get that in person vibe, you know. So it just kind of died down, and I just started doing my own thing. But like, man, it was so bad, bro. Like I'll be having like these dreams. I'm like, oh yeah, we about to have like 3 kids,
Hey,
big
yo,
Whoa.
yo,
house,
yo, yo,
cars,
chill out,
like
chill out,
the
chill
whole
out.
Hey,
dream.
no,
No,
that's
I
not
thought
Yeah.
even
he had a
funny.
different type of
Everybody
dream,
goes
bro.
like that.
Nah,
Yeah,
hey, look, I
Whoa.
can't say that. I can't say that on air though. But like,
I was about to say, let's keep it
I
PG.
Oh,
can't say that on
yo,
air though. Hey,
yo.
but
No,
look,
but
Uh,
so
yeah, I feel
Yo.
those
Hey,
too sometimes.
Cocos.
facts.
No,
Yeah,
those type of dreams are like
so,
be
the
different.
wholesome ones though. Yeah, those are
hmm
Be
no,
I
that's
different.
get
Like
respectable,
dreams.
bro.
special.
nothing
I
Special.
just kind of
sexual-ish or
think about that
anything.
daydreaming.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't
for
have
sure,
like
both,
dreams
yeah.
about them.
Facts.
No, both.
Facts.
You start
But nah,
daydreaming. Yeah.
it was so bad, bro. Like I'll be posting on IG, just trying to like impress. See if she would like my posting. It's like that.
Mm.
Uh, so it's just sort of like I was out of character type ish.
Mm.
Like my whole persona, I wasn't like F boy ish, but like I would be doing kind of like F boy ish on
You
IG
be
and
do you
stuff.
be doing stuff just to try to get her attention.
Yeah, just trying to impress,
Mm.
like.
Yeah.
And that's
You be
So
changing
contradicts the
up.
advice you gave me. but
Yeah,
being yourself.
exactly. But that's what I'm
But it's
saying.
different.
You gotta live. Yeah, but you gotta live and you learn. So that was
Hmm.
my experience with that. Just living and learning. But like I said before, if it's meant to be, it's gonna come. But like this year with the mask and stuff, interaction is kind of decreased. She not. I don't have any classes with her. Um. So man, it just kind of fell off to be honest. But I don't know. If we have a class in some, next year, I might come back. But yeah, that first love, that's real. That's real for me for
Yeah.
So
sure.
wait, so does she have a man right now?
Uh, not to my knowledge, to be honest, cause like I said, I
Mm.
don't have a class with her and ish, so I don't really
Demon
talk to her.
time.
Yeah,
Hey, insider info.
what we talking?
I did see
Oh.
Dylan walking with a female today.
Hey, chill, bro, chill.
Oh.
Hey, it's not
Hey,
even
hey,
like that.
hey,
It
hey,
ain't even like that.
hey,
It ain't even
hey,
like that.
Yo, yo,
Hey,
whoa, whoa.
they trying to put TMZ on me. It ain't even like that.
hey.
No,
I
but
mean,
Nah, but Dylan
nah, but
said
that shit real.
he started seeing her flaws and stuff. I haven't. I still haven't went through that phase yet.
It's
Like
what do you
seeing her
because
mean by
you
flaws.
her
still have
flaws?
tunnel vision, bro.
Like,
Like,
Like
Yeah, like what
I mean,
I'm
I know
saying
what
is the
flaws
tunnel
so look,
is.
vision,
so
and
look,
like
I'll give a
you
little.
just have the feeling, and like you just
yeah,
see that everything about her or them is
It's
perfect
not what it
or
seems.
yeah,
perfect in your
basically,
ways to
yeah,
Mm.
perfection.
yeah,
So
cause
yeah.
like, I'll
That's
give you a
the
little
thing
Literally.
about it.
backstory, bro. So
Uh,
like, to Amir's point, this chick was a little. She wasn't crazy. She's just like real goofy type
nah,
of
she was
girl.
still crazy, Dylan.
Hey, but like she was like real goofy type
Yeah,
ish, and obviously when caught up in a love, love struck type ish, you don't really, pay attention. I mean, you think that's cute type deal,
hmm
but then once it started to die down, I was like, yo, this kind of annoying, and especially, bro, like she kept on calling me, that George, like the whole time, and I was
I
Hey
like,
bet you
yo,
man,
if
this,
that was me, he would have been raging on me so quick.
hey,
hey
nah,
man,
bro,
hey,
hey,
hey, hey,
I've been working on that.
D-Boo.
What's up?
At least you weren't called JoJo, bro.
Say what? Oh
I said she
no,
used to call me JoJo
oh
every
no,
damn day until we started dating, bro.
oh no,
Damn.
I,
shoot,
mm, mm,
nah,
mm,
bro. You should have
mm.
said, hey, I'm out after that.
I should have,
Nah, but
bro.
like,
I had no self-respect for myself back then.
damn,
I
like
let
I
it do
said,
it.
live and you learn. But
Yep,
nah, so
that's true.
so she just be calling me George and ish. I'm like, still to this day though, but like, obviously I'm cool with it. Like, it don't really bother me that much.
Yeah,
But like, like to an extent, that's annoying. It's like after a while, it's like, okay, yeah, that's cool. You can switch it up on me. You know what I mean? But I don't know, man. Like I said, if it's meant to be, it'll happen. But yeah, that love struck stuff is real for sure,
Hmm.
for sure.
hmm hmm
You know
Hey,
we
but
we heard from everybody except Jaden. So
we gotta get Jaden
Yeah.
in here. What we talking?
the
That
question
boy,
was,
he said he had to tell Roku. His opinion we needed him the most.
all right, we can edit this out. He AFK.
Jaden here or no?
No, he AFK.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
No, but
Um,
this is blank. This blank. We can edit this. But
Hello.
yeah,
yo.
we're
I think
off
I'll
the
go to
air
my
for
next
a
question
bit
or
now.
no? Okay. Hey,
I'm
my
ready to
next
do it,
question.
bro.
And let me edit.